Hello friends and welcome back to Enterprise Architecture. Now today I have started a new mod pack in our series. We are playing Techopolis 2. I tried a bunch of the mod packs that you all recommended over the holidays and tried to play through the first chapter or so of each of them. And this is the one I think I want to continue playing for now for our next little mini series here. Now this mod pack has been around for a little while. It's pretty robust and I am playing it in Skyblock mode as you can see here. I am floating over the void on this platform with just a tree. So this is going to be a mod that has a lot of similarities to the previous mod pack we played. There's a lot of ore and resource generation, miners, etc. And I'm really excited to check it out. So with no further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, so this is a Skyblock pack. Like most Skyblock packs, it's going to be very similar for any of you who have played any of those sorts of packs before. Similar to, I'd say, Sky Factory maybe in a lot of ways. So we have our whole quest list here. Now, all of these are just basic checkbox quests in the first section. So we can kind of skip right over this. Now, what is exciting is these quest lines here. We have a whole bunch of quests ahead of us. And it also has this research papers branch where we use research points, these tech bucks, to unlock more research. Again, that's kind of similar to the last pack that we were playing, that has that sort of Factorio satisfactory sort of thing to it. I like that a lot. So to start, we have punched a tree, and now we need to go on and get planks, crafting table, chests, wooden pickaxe, and then our first miners. So let's get started on all of that good stuff. So first things first, we need to make ourselves up a bunch of planks. And we do have one extra sapling here, which is really good because we got no saplings off that last tree. So let's go ahead and grab this up. And with any luck, there we go, we'll get a few more saplings off of this. Now, the other thing that we need to make here is our crafting table. So let's go ahead and grab and put this down. And with that crafting table, we can then go ahead and make a replacement axe for the one that we just broke. So that's going to come in real handy. So let's grab that. We do have Ultimine in here, so we can just break all of these branches at once, all the leaves, and then do the same thing here with the logs. And that's just by holding the tilde key down to get that. Now, you'll also note that in the starter chest, we have a couple other things. We have a ceramic lava bucket, which means it's a one-time use, and then we're going to lose it. We have a couple of pieces of ice. And if you're eyeing this, you know that that means we've got an infinite water source effectively here, as well as a cobblestone generator, basically, that we're going to make out of that. We've got some seeds to get us started, wheat, and some apples for food. I haven't checked to see whether or not the apple can be done and used for anything else, but food is a good thing for now. So I'm going to keep making myself a few more of these axes, and then I'm going to chop down a bunch more trees here. So I'm just going to go through this routine, and you will see by the green sparkling bits there that we do have the addition that we can torque to grow trees. That's always a fun thing to add in a pack and makes this go a lot quicker. I also noted that it uses that to quickly grow crops as well. So I'll see you all back here in a second once I have a stack of wood in hand. Okay, and there we have it. We have a decent amount of logs now. So the next couple of things that we need to do here are to go ahead and make ourselves a wooden pickaxe. And then we also, let's go ahead and collect all of these rewards real fast here. Need to make ourselves a chest, and then we are going to make ourselves our first miner. So chests are easy. We know how to do that. Just a donut block. Okay, and now miners. So this is really the heart of this pack, these miners. So here's how you make them. You need planks, logs, and a wooden pickaxe, and that's going to make you your first miner. So there we go. Now, what do we do with miners? That's a more interesting question. So miners, we are going to, as soon as we click on this quest, get a quest book that tells us what we need to do. Now, these miners basically let you build structures around large amounts of ore. In this case, you can see the picture, it's going to have cobblestone here, but you can do it for a variety of ores. And with this scaffold that we put around it, it's going to auto mine up the blocks underneath. Now, it never uses them up. It's a permanent resource. It becomes basically a node of that resource that we can just mine infinitely. The caps you see here on the top, these diamond blocks in this case, those are going to increase the speed that this can mine. You also note that these are flashing different colors, and that's the tier of the actual support structures around it. That tier is going to determine what you can actually mine with this. So to get started, we only need tier 1 scaffolding. So let's see here, structure, no, scaffold. Frame, that's what it's called, okay. So we need to make tier 1 frames. And if I remember correctly, there's pillars of 5 tall on each side and then 12 in the middle. So that's 32 frames altogether that we need to make. And so for that, we are going to need a whole lot of sticks. So we're going to make some sticks there, and then we're going to make ourselves up a bunch more planks. And with that, we are going to make as many of these frames as we can. So there's 24 frames. We need a few more. Let's do that. And 33. So 1 extra, and that's just barely enough for what we need here. So with the rest of this wood, I'm going to start doing a couple of things. First, I'm going to make a whole bunch more planks, and I'm going to turn that into oak slabs. And those slabs I'm going to use to increase the size of this platform here. Now, this platform is actually pretty big if you look down. So we are going to trim this down to size, first things first. So let's take the remaining planks and sticks that we've got, make ourselves a shovel, and we're going to start cutting our way down to the bottom here. Let's pick up everything in this chest and use our remaining axe durability here to cut up the chest and the crafting table. Great. And now we're going to cut this down to size. So let's just go down here. We got one more block. There we go. Okay, so now we are knocked down to just this tiny little platform here. Now we're going to take our oak slabs and we're going to start expanding this platform out to give us a place to start putting our miners together. So I'm going to go out this way with it a little bit. And this is only 5 wide for now. That's going to be fine for what we're doing at this particular moment. But in the longer term, obviously, we're going to make this platform much, much, much bigger so that we can kind of get around a little bit easier here. But I'm just going to give myself enough room to put up our first miner. So, okay, now that we've got a 5x5 structure, we take our support frames here and we climb up to 5 levels. So that's 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put one here, and then 5. And then we just do the same thing over and over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, come over, and 5. Let's go over this way. And we're going to do the same thing on this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, come over, and 5. And then over this way, we're going to do the same one last time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5. 5 like that. Okay, perfect. And with 1 block left over. Okay, so this is our frame that we're going to use for the miner. Now, the first time I tried this pack, I originally thought that I could use this to mine dirt, but it turns out you can't get dirt from a tier 1 frame. You have to have, I think it's a tier 3, a tier 5, something a lot higher than what we've got. What we can do is use that for cobblestone. So how are we going to get cobblestone in this pack? Well, now that we've got these in place, here is cobblestone. And how do we get this? We can get it from pebbles. We can get it from miners. But there is one other way to get it, and that is to make ourselves a lava generator. So that's what we are going to do real quick here. So I want to come a little further away from this frame because I might need to not burn the building down. That would be best. And what I'm going to do here is just come over just a little bit further here. There we go. And that'll give us a little bit of room to maneuver. Put a piece of dirt here. And I'm going to do 3 blocks here and then a hole. Oh, and I lost a piece of dirt. That's going to happen. That's totally fine. And then here, I'm going to put another couple of blocks and frame this in. Just like that and that. And then this. Okay. So, first things first, I'm going to take my blocks of ice and I'm going to create an infinite water source. I'm going to put one here and one here, break them like this, and this spot now will give us an infinite water source. That's going to be really handy for us. We're going to take our lava bucket and we're going to put that right here. And you can see the bucket broke when we did that. And now that that's running down, and it looks like I actually put this in the wrong spot. I need to put this here. Now that it's running down, I can make myself a pick and start mining our cobblestone. Now to start here, we have a need for 4 high by 9 wide. 3 by 3 is 9, and that's 4 layers. So that's 36 pieces of cobble altogether. So we're gonna go ahead and make ourselves a wood pick to start, and we'll probably upgrade that as soon as we can. And now we're just gonna mine out this cobblestone over and over again until we have 36 pieces. Okay, and there we go. Now that took a little bit longer than expected because about 25%, a quarter of these that you're trying to mine actually end up popping into the lava and being destroyed instantly. So that's less useful than I would like, but it's fine. It's fine. This is totally fine. We eventually got there. And I went ahead and made a few extra while we were at it because there's a few other things that we are going to want to make. Now, thankfully, these support frames are basically scaffolding. You can climb them, and that is really, really nice. So we immediately are going to climb up here and add all of this to make the platform. Then we put our miner on top of that, and on top of the miner, you can see the red dot goes away, and now it says it's okay. Clicking on it will tell you the current tick rate, so every 220 ticks, we get a piece of cobblestone. And now we are going to put a chest on top, and that's where all the cobblestone being generated is going to go, and we're going to have a bunch of cobblestone that way. So, excellent. And that means now that we have completed that quest. I, of course, upgraded my pick along the way, and now we need to make ourselves a furnace before we make the super ultra mega jumbo furnace, which is a really, really cool thing unto itself. So let's hop down here and make ourselves first a single furnace like so. Okay, and we're just going to put that down right next to that. And with this furnace, we can start cooking things up. So I'm going to start with cooking up some logs here. Maybe a little less of our logs because I still need some to make some wood for some more different items. But we're going to start with that. And I am then going to move over, let's say, to this edge here and start gathering myself up a few more logs because we are going to need a bunch. Okay, so we got a full stack of logs and I'm cooking those into charcoal now. And we're going to use that in our mega furnace here once we get the jumbo furnaces unlocked and set up. Now, we're not acquiring cobblestone very quickly yet. It's going really, really slowly for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to add cap blocks onto the support frames to increase the speed. Now, the first cap blocks that you can add are fences. And fences are cheap. Fences are relatively simple for us to create. And if I remember correctly, we just need 2 sets of fences. So we go ahead and we put this here like that. And we need 4 fences there. So let's grab those fences. Quest completed, you see there for those cap blocks. And let's go ahead and put these on top like this. Just like so, and like so, and like so. Whoops, not there. There. Perfect. And now you'll see that the mining speed has gone down to 200. That's a little faster. It's still not a lot, it's still not great, but it's a little bit better than what we were doing. Actually, it's still at this point going to be faster to just mine cobblestone by hand to fill this up, even though, as you can see, we are losing a decent number of those cobblestone blocks to the lava. So this is still going to be a little bit faster for us for right now, but it does require manual work. And there we have it, 4 full stacks of cobblestone, hand-mined, artisanal cobblestone stacks. That's what we like around here. So we're going to take those and split them up here. And this can give us up to 32 of these furnaces now, but we don't need 32. We just need exactly 27, including the one that we already had. So we're going to put the rest there into storage. Okay, and now we have lots and lots of furnaces. So we are going to go off the side of this platform that we've already created here, and we are going to go, let's say, let's do like 5 blocks here, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Don't worry, yes, we do unlock construction wands later in this pack. We don't have them to start, but we will get there. And 1 more row, just like so. Okay, so in this direction now, I'm going to start putting down these furnaces that we've got here. So just like this. And we are going to do a 3x3 cube. And again, if you are familiar with immersive engineering, this pattern should look relatively familiar. That makes the jumbo furnace multi-block. This can smelt multiple items at once and has a very, very large reservoir of items. So for instance, we could put all of our lovely, lovely charcoal in there and also then start smelting up our cobblestone and other items. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to take another 16 of our oak logs in there and start smelting that up. And one other thing that we are going to smelt up while we are at it is another of our stone pickaxes. And the reason is because that will become a prospector's pick. Now, no, this does not work like the prospector's pick in the other block game we've been playing, Vintage Story. It instead allows us to break colored stone blocks and give us other types of blocks back out. So for instance, you can use this on colored stone to get, say, I don't know, coal and lapis, I think are the first two we're going to get. We're also going to go ahead and cook down our stone, and that's going to give us regular stone, and that also is going to complete some quests for us. There we go. So let's take a look at everything we've done here. So we've got our fences quest done, our furnace quest done, our jumbo furnace quest done, and our stone quest done. Now, we can make a jumbo furnace block, and that is made with 27 furnaces that are smelted. We're not going to get to this for a while because we're not making enough cobblestone, but just know that we can make these as a block. When you make that as a block, it goes into this slot here and increases the number of items that get smelted at the same time. You can put up to 64 in there, I believe. So that's a neat little thing. We're going to come back to that in a little bit. But for now, we need to get smooth stone so that we can start making our tree absorber, and also that light gray colored stone that I mentioned that we are going to use to be able to get coal for the next tier. So we're going to wait for this to cook down, and we'll get started on that in just a second. Now also, since we have this stone in hand finally, we are going to go ahead and remove these fence posts that we had put up previously. And we are instead going to replace these fence posts with just smelted stone. That should take us from 200, I think, to 180. I think that's right. So let's go ahead and put these down here and here. And let's see now. Yes, now we're up to 180. So we are marginally faster than we were before. Now, while all of this stuff is happening, we're going to do a couple of more things. First things first, I wanted to show you what I was talking about with regard to how do we get dirt. So in this pack, they've added a nice little addition, which is these wooden shears from Techopolis Utilities. I don't know anything about this mod, but it is really useful for getting wooden shears, and that allows us to get a copious amount of our leaves very quickly. So there we have a whole bunch of leaves, and let's go ahead and remove the last of this tree. Okay, so now we have all of these leaves in hand. We can do two things. One, if you just put them into a square like this, you get dirt. But if you put dirt in the middle, you get grass blocks back out. And that is extremely useful for us here. So now we have grass. The other thing that you can do with leaves in this pack is make leafy string. Now, you can't use this for every recipe, but you can use it to get wool, green wool out of it. So if we make enough pieces of this, we should be able to make ourselves some blocks of wool. And it looks like actually we're just short by one. So let me go grab a few more leaves here off of a tree, and then we're gonna have 3 pieces of wool. Those 3 pieces of wool, of course, we are going to use so that we can make ourselves a bed. Not that that's really critical. I actually turned phantoms off already. I also have keep inventory turned on. So we will be able to not have to worry about dying so much or sleeping so much, but I still think it's a good idea just to get in the habit of making a bed. So let's see here. We're going to go ahead and make one more piece of string, one more piece of wool, and then with our oak logs, we can then make ourselves a nice green bed. There we go. Wonderful. There's our bed, there's our spawn point set, and we are now relatively safe. Okay, good. So what can we do next? Well, I think the next thing we can do is use this dirt to actually start growing grass over here. So let's go ahead and pull that block out and put grass there, and let's just go ahead and put it on this side too. Put it right in this corner. There we go. And again, it's fine if we lose a couple of blocks. We are not as worried about it as we are in some other Skyblock packs. Okay, so that's going to start growing grass all over this area. Now, another fun thing in this pack is that you can actually cycle dirt into other ingredients. So dirt becomes gravel, gravel becomes sand, and sand becomes clay. So I'm going to do a bunch of pieces of clay like so, and turn those into clay balls. And I'm going to use these clay balls to make myself a bunch of our buckets. I think let's go ahead and do 4 clay buckets. And now we can use these clay buckets to go ahead and grab up our water and our lava. Obviously, we need to fire them first, so let's go ahead and fire these buckets real fast here. And I'm going to grab that. And let's just go ahead and pull this off here. And there is our lava. Wonderful. And we'll just wait for these to finish. There we go. And we can grab the rest of this. Okay, so that's clay. Now, I am getting a little ahead of myself here because the next couple of quests past this are going to be to start getting tech here. So let's see here. We get buckets there, unfired clay buckets there, clay balls there. So this is the entire next tier that we're getting. And now we need to make grout. Grout works just like in Tinker's Construct, but this is not from Tinker's Construct. I want to be clear about that. This is not a Tinker's Construct recipe. So instead, what we are doing here, let's do 12 of those. Oh, not cobblestone. We're going to do 12 of those, 12 gravel. And now that with our clay, we are going to be able to make this grout. So I think this is the pattern. It might be off by 1. There we go. Great. So there's 9 grout. All right. So what do we do with grout? Well, first off, we complete a quest. The next thing we do is then we can use this grout, smelt it down, and we get grout dust. That grout dust we then use for a variety of things. You can make clay with it directly, you can make gravel with it, you can make coke bricks with it. This is what we are most interested in, is making coke bricks, because we're going to use that to get to the next level. So let's go ahead and drop all of our 18 grout in here, and that can cook. We're going to grab our buckets up, and we are going to grab up the last of our water. Okay, and there is our smooth stone. And now we cook this one more time so that we can use this to make our colored stone. Now, while that's going, we are going to pick up 4 pieces of smooth stone and make ourselves a stone axe as well. And we're going to use that to make this tree absorber right here. So we just need a couple of more planks. There we go. Okay, and there is our tree absorber. Now, this works just like the miner, but the big difference here is that this is a little bit more particular. See, it's just a lot taller here. If I remember correctly, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blocks tall with 5 blocks in between. So that means 44 pillars. And then 20 for the inside, so 64. You basically need a full stack of our support frames to be able to make this. So let's go ahead and grab our frame real quick, like so. And we are going to add that to our shopping list. And you can see here that means that we are going to need basically 64 times 8 divided by 3, which is a large number. So basically, I think it's 160 of these all said and done sticks to be able to make this. So with the middle, of course, being these wooden planks. So let's go ahead and make that. That means let's go ahead and take all of our logs, convert those, take this stack here, make those into our sticks, more sticks, and yet more sticks. I think that's right. Okay. So let's see how many of these that we can make real quick. Okay, so to set this up, we need to first go up one little level here, and there is method to my madness for why I want to go up one level. I just have to make sure my counting is right here, like so. And the reason is because we need to put our storage down below this rather than on top like we did before, so we do need to account for that. Now, we need to go up 11 units here, so let's go ahead and give ourselves 11 support frames just so we can keep track. And 11, like that. And then just like we did before, we come down 1 here. So let's go over 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to have another scaffold here. Let's just climb down this or fall off of it gracelessly. That's probably the more realistic way that we go about this. Okay, and there is our completed scaffold, just about. I've locked 1 block out, and I will show you why here in a second. Now, I find that this is the only one that is extremely useful to use the visualizer for. So now you can see what shapes have to be in place. And the reason why that I want to use the visualizer for this is because it requires a very specific size and shape of tree. Just growing any old tree is not going to work here. So to put this in place, first things first, let's go ahead and set our storage on bottom. We're going to use a barrel for this. We use a barrel because you can open it even when stuff is on top of it. You can't do that with a chest. Chests you cannot open with things on top. So let's put our tree absorber on top of that, and it's going to say it's not valid yet because it doesn't have all the things it needs. Let's grab our dirt blocks here, and let's we're gonna have to climb up this. So let's go ahead and do this like so. Nope. There we go. And then we put a tree sapling on top of that, and we torque it into existence. And actually, I think I have to come up one more level to torque that. There we go. All right, so now you can see here that it is not the right shape. You see how we still have ghost blocks all around? That means we need to go and take the leaves, the extra leaves that we had cut down, and put those into the spots that are missing. So we go around here like this, and like this. Let's go ahead and make ourselves another set of shears real quick. And we're just going to nip the top off of this like so. Just like that. And I think, are these red blocks saying that these are right or these aren't right? Not sure here. So we need to pull this off, and then we need to take out this block and this block. Those both get leaves as well. And now you can see it should be all okay, I think. No speed caps, or missing some caps. Okay, so the only thing that we are now missing here is we need to cook some stone so that we can put the caps in place. And it looks like we are about out, so let's go make those up real fast. Oop, oh, I missed my jump. I missed my jump. Well, okay, so this means we're just going to try and fall right back into our spots, and we don't need to really worry about that. As I mentioned, we are, of course, going to have our keep inventory turned on, so I'm not worried about it. All right, so let's go ahead and make ourselves up some stone here again. Let's do, we're going to use more stone anyway, so let's just give ourselves 16 stone. And while that is going, we're going to finish this tree in just a second. Okay, there we go. Now we have our stone in hand. Let's go ahead and cap off these real fast. Like that. And like that. And this. And then one more here. Okay, perfect. So with any luck, that should say we are collecting oak logs and more. And there you go. You can see we're already getting oak logs, sticks, and oak leaves. And soon we will also see some apples show up. And that will be very, very nice. Oh, yep, there you go. There's our apples. Perfect. So we can grab all that stuff up. Quest-wise, let's go ahead and we got our grout dust, so we can check that off. But let's go back to the basic tech section. We got smooth stone here. That's done. We got our tech bucks from our tree absorber, and we have our light colored stone. The only thing that's left now is to grab up any of our cobblestone here and make ourselves that last set of our jumbo furnaces. So I've got 13 furnaces so far here that I've been making slowly but surely. And I think I can make up a bunch more. 6, 7. Perfect. So there are our 27 furnaces. Let's drop this in here, and we want to prioritize those. And immediately you see we got one jumbo furnace. I'm going to put that in here, and that's going to double the speed here. You'll see instead of getting 1 piece of cobblestone cooked, we'll get 2 pieces of cobblestone cooked. Yeah, so now we're up to 10. Great. And that, of course, completes the last quest. And that also brings us to the end of this episode of Enterprise Architecture. We made a lot of progress here, setting up our miners, our jumbo furnace, and our tree absorbers. So I think that is a pretty good haul for one day. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you back here next time. Bye, friends.